Parshas Terumah talks about the Binyan HaMishkan, the building of various kelim and the building of the Mishkan. So the Torah starts off with Tikhuli Truma, that the Jews should take Truma, they should take, in this place, Truma seems to mean gifts, that they should give towards the building of the Mishkan. And the Torah talks about it, it goes through a list of the 13 items that the people should donate towards the building of the various implements of the Mishkan itself. Then you should make me a mikdash that I can dwell within, and Hashem can bring the Shekhinah into Klal Yisrael through the vehicle of the Mishkan. So Rav Moshe in the Kol Ram raises the issue that it would seem the Psukim are a little bit out of order. It would seem that first the Torah should tell us what we're donating towards, then tell us what needs to be donated, and then give the mitzvah of the Yichuli Truma. Why is the Torah first telling us to give, and then telling us what's needed, and then first telling us the purpose of what it's all for? So Rav Moshe said the pshat is the Torah is teaching us that when we give tzedakah, we give because it's the Ratzon Hashem, because Hashem wants us to give. We don't give because the main reason we're giving is not because of the fact that we appreciate what we're giving for, that we feel that it's our money and we're in charge of it. We're supposed to know that our money that we have, all the brachas Hashem gives us, are Hashem's gifts. They're not ours to do what we want with. They're Hashem's gifts for the purpose of using them for the purpose that He gave them to us for. Person should that you're stewarding Hashem's money, so to speak. And that's why the Torah is first telling us to give, because that's why we gave. That's why they should give, because Hashem wants them to give. And then it first tells us the tachlis afterwards. And this is an important theme that I've seen in many of Rav Moshe's pieces in the Sefer, that a person does things because of the Ratzon Hashem. Meaning, for example, a person has a drive to give to others. He's a kind person. So the main reason he should be giving to people is using that emotional drive that he has to give to others, but it's because it's the will of Hashem. It's because of what Hashem wants, not because he feels that way. And everything we do, it's supposed to be first and foremost because God said so. And every other reason that helps inspire, helps motives, comes on the heels of that, comes as secondary to that. So Moshe talks about connects this to what we find in the Rambam in the 10th parak of Hilchos Matnos Aniyim about the different levels of giving tzedakah, very apropos for Chodesh Adar. So we know the highest level of tzedakah, famously, is the idea of helping the person in a menschlich way, maybe even help them before they should live with you. You're helping him, he doesn't even fall down. You're giving him a job. You're giving him, you're hiring him in your business. You're making him a partner with you. You're giving him a loan so he can build himself up. So he doesn't even feel like he's getting tzedakah. That's the highest level of tzedakah. Rambam talks about 8 levels. He says a lower level is the ideal. If you're not doing that, if you're just giving him a donation, is to do it in a way where you don't know who you're giving to, and he doesn't know who he's getting from. That's a mitzvah lishma. Like we find there was something in the Mikdash called the Lishkas Chashayim. There was a chamber where people came b'chashay in secret. People would put tzedakah in, people would come and take it. They didn't know who's getting it. They didn't know who gave it. That's the second highest level of giving tzedakah. A similar form the Rambam writes would be to give it to a kupa shel tzedakah. You have a gaba, you give it to one of these organizations. The poor people don't know who they're getting it from. You don't know who the money's going to. He says you should only be doing that if you trust if the person in charge of it is a trustworthy person who knows how to deal with it properly. His example is Hanina ben Trajan. That obviously you have to trust the gaba, that the gaba is only, going to give to worthy people and the like. A level below that is, it's better at least that you should know who you're giving it to, but he shouldn't know who he got it from. He shouldn't feel that embarrassment that you gave him charity. He finds like we found that people, they would go overnight and they would dump the bag of money on the person's doorstep and he wakes up in the morning. So that's a ma'ila tova, that at least they don't have that embarrassment of you giving them, of feeling that you're giving it to them and that you know that they're poor. They don't see you, they don't know who you are. That's the higher level. The next level is that the aniyim know who they got it from, but the no saint doesn't know who gave it to them, who they're giving it to. Like he says that the Gedolei Chachamim, they take the money, they put it down, the Aniyim would come and take it. They never saw which Ani was taking it. Interestingly, the Rambam is saying the higher level is for the giver to know. The ideal is that neither person knows who's getting and who's giving, but the next level is that the giver knows who he's giving to and the receiver doesn't know who he's getting it from. Below that would be if the receiver knows who he's going to get it from, but at least the giver doesn't know who he's getting it from. Then beyond that would be the Ani gives it, you give it to an Ani and you're giving it to him directly, but at least you preempt him before he even asks, you give him the money. Below that would be that when he comes to you, you give him what he needs. Below that would be that even if you can't give him everything he needs, but at least you give him with a big smile. Below that would be you give ba'atsev, maybe not with the biggest smile, but I don't think he means with bitterness. The Rambam uses a very harsh language about a person who gives b'sever panim ros, with like a very bitter, with a certain bitterness. He says a strong language, like he loses the schos. I don't know if he means you get no schos, but very harsh about a person who gives in a way that's very begrudging like that. I assume with panim atzev, meaning, I guess he just means that it's difficult for you and you don't pretend that it's easy for you. And so the Moshe suggests that maybe this is marumas a little bit in these dargos, numbers 2, 3, and 4 are marumas a little bit in the Torah's order here. That there's the level of yichuli truma. A person gives, Hashem says to give, I give. I don't know where the money is going. I trust that Hashem told me to give it, I'm giving it. Then below that, okay, I know what I'm supposed to, I know what's needed, so I'm giving gold and silver. I don't know where it's going, but I know that, but I'm giving what I'm giving based on knowing what I'm giving. Then after that, a person even knows what it's going to be asuli mikdash, that would be the third rumors to the third madrega. So this is Rav Moshe's connection. And he's making the point that this idea that the highest level is really that a person gives without any shaylas. Obviously, when people give bigger amounts, they don't want to be irresponsible with their tzedakah. And I don't think he means people are giving $50,000 whenever I see the brochure, but he's making the point, and even see a business model, but I think he's making the point that we have to realize the money is not our money. We have to realize Hashem gave it to us to a purpose, and that we have a mitzvah to give, and we have a mitzvah to give because Hashem said to give, and that's the first priority over anything else. Just a quick story to close on the subject of giving, Chodesh Adar, that we have the mitzvah of Matanos Avyonim to be mechazik people. We also have the mitzvah of Mishloach Manos, which one of the two purposes of it is to build reyos, to build friendship among us. Heard a story recently, somebody I know personally, that they had somebody one of these relationships where they had a fight about nothing, that they hadn't spoken in 20 years because they had a fight about nothing, and they got inspired. Purim went and they gave shalach manos, and they went and gave shalach manos. The other person was, of course, like, oh yeah, of course I have shalach manos for you too. Quickly went and grabbed something, and after that they got along because sometimes a fight has a real thing behind it, sometimes it doesn't. It just underscored the power of giving, the power of building reyos with our matanos on Purim. I once heard a pshat b'shem Rav Kanera, because that's my Rav likes to quote, that he's explained that that's also part of the idea of adav yada, is sometimes when people get a little bit looser, they take down some of the guard and they can make shalom when their fights are about petty things. That he's seen b'chush people that they didn't get along, and then Purim time, they're a little inebriated and they go dance with each other and they make up. A different point than I was making, all within the realm of the value of giving, the importance of giving, maybe bizocha to be on the giving end, maybe bizocha to bring more bracha into our life through giving in this Zman Simchaseinu, and wishing you all a wonderful Shabbos and a Meis Hashem in the near future of Reilachim Purim. Have a wonderful Shabbos.